Welcome to Dinner Discussions with Bee. Thank you guys for all coming. Make some noise for your lovely chef Bee.
Woo! I'm very shy, guys. Okay, I just want you guys to know that. Okay, so we decided to go with Italian. I was like trying to figure out what to have, whatever. But we were just away, and while we were out, the one thing, because I make spaghetti like once a week. It's like a thing that we do where once a week we have to have spaghetti. Oh. So it's been like 10 days or like maybe 2 weeks that we haven't. So I was just like, yeah, let's just go all out. Let's do all the spaghetti that we make all the time. So I have chicken parmesan over there, and you have two options of spaghetti. There's bow ties, and then there's regular pasta. That right there is just marinara to go with the chicken parmesan. And here is pasta bolognese, but it's turkey bolognese. I don't use beef often. And here is like a play on rasta pasta that I really, really enjoy. Yeah, and in here this is a hibiscus limoncello. Limoncello is like an Italian kind of liqueur. But I love making sorrel, so I just decided to combine the two of them. That's something I do often when I'm cooking. Like I mix the things that I like with the things that like I watch on TV or whatever, just to, you know, have like a fusion. This is wine here. And yeah, that's it. Enjoy. Bon appetit.
I'm excited.
Enjoy. It's family style, so please help yourself. Just wait a little bit if someone is taking what you're taking. All right, do it.
Yeah, not for you.
How do you keep your spaghetti all slippery? Like
you have to put oil in it as soon as it's out. Like I don't know if you guys rinse your pasta, but you shouldn't rinse your pasta.
Right.
But as soon as it's out, you just douse it with oil and.
So instead of rinsing it, you douse it with oil instead of water.
I was boiling it with oily water.
I'm telling you right now, okay? Oh no, don't do it. I mean, I still put water, like water in the water. So like when it's still water to the water, so when it's out, after as soon as it's finished draining, I just
deserve to be called out.
olive oil.
Yeah, don't do that.
Everybody good? Got some stuff on their plate?
Yeah.
Yes. Alright, I'm gonna get that bow
It's the
tie.
beginning of the end.
So, as a starter, you know, I want to know how long have I would like to know how long has every couple been married, and also how long have you guys known each other before you started? Go ahead.
It's gonna be a year for us next Friday.
Happy early anniversary.
Thank you.
Next Friday.
We knew each other since 2013.
People doing the math in their head real quick.
We are 2015. I don't know. It's difficult for us to remember which date is which because we did a domestic partnership in March and then we actually got married in like December 31st of that year.
Okay.
Which is, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 2015. Not pretty sure. I mean, yes, 2015, right?
Y'all had practice before we got here.
We did practice earlier. We're equally bad at it. So yeah, so 2018, 3 years? 3 years. Yeah. Yeah.
I must remember that we basically were married in 9 months.
You met and married in 9 months.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. That was fast.
He was like, wait, what? How you spend the last there?
No, it was fast. Yeah, we met in 2013. I know it was April. And, yeah, then I moved to New York. I moved here. Yeah, that was August, and by March. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, that was 2013. No, that wasn't that. That was 2014.
I better cut it out.
So yeah, it's about.
Could you agree
We've
with
been
my
together
narrative?
we've been together 5 years. So we
Okay.
didn't really know marriage was a possibility like that. So we were just planning on just, you know, hanging out and doing the thing for, you know, 60 years around 2013.
Okay.
And then, you know, marriage contracts have some interesting legal opportunities. So.
Super sexy.
Is that why you jumped on it immediately, or did you guys already know you wanted to be married?
I took a job working for a politician, and then I came back, and then we were like, next time we're in the same place at the same time, we're just gonna get married.
Okay.
So this was Tuesday, which I think was St. Patrick's Day, and we just both took time off from work, and we went downtown Manhattan and just did the paperwork, and it was done.
Okay.
And we did that's what it was, and then we went back to work.
I went back to work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was there when man. And he was like, I got married this morning. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah,
That's it?
it was around
I love it,
today.
though.
Yeah, I didn't really go back to work. Yeah, so that just happened, and then we
It's like
thought
going to the DMV, you know.
it was kind of like
It's
going to
actually
the
exactly
DMV.
like that.
There was no one in there getting married. There were actually
Fine.
only people that were
Show
getting
some paperwork.
divorced.
Get a number.
Get what you need.
Yeah.
There were only people that were getting divorced, and we were getting the domestic partnership.
Sober in reality.
We thought we would like scale it in to give everybody an opportunity to like get ready. Say we'll do a wedding thing later. But then by the time later happened, everyone was just like, well, to us, it's just like you're already married, so like it's done. Because after that was a March, and then May we had a big like reception that my friends insisted on having at the Pierre in Midtown. So we did that, and it was like it was done. So we just went and got the license at the end of the year, which was December 30th or 31st. Was it? Well, we tried to go in November.
Well, as the finance guy,
Yeah.
you have to pay twice if you didn't do it within 18 months.
Oh, is
Second
that
of
how
the
it
year.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pay twice. So I was
Okay.
like, oh, we got to do it before the year's over.
Okay.
And we literally landed on like December 30th.
And it was
Oh,
packed.
wow.
Everyone was in there trying to marry like their foreign bride.
They're like, I gotta get my green card, so we gotta do it today, so we gotta apply this year. Like, it
These
was
Italian
like-
kids was asking us to be their witnesses.
Yep.
So Stephanie and Phil, how long have you guys been married, and how long have you guys been together before that?
Got a full mouth all the time, huh? We were married in January, so we were married for 6 months. January this year. And we met in 2013.
Look at Phil. Phil's like, let me see.
I remember.
Yeah.
And
I was just tested.
we officially started dating in 2014, so we've been together for over 4.5 years now. So.
But why did you get married? Like, what was the thing? What moment pushed you over to like, we done just being in a relationship, we done just being cool? I know I want to live with you for a long time, but when did it become married?
For me and Cynthia and I, let's see, I've been.
Speak for both of us.
For me personally, me being a young male out in this generational push and pull, you kind of hit a lot of turbulence as a young man with hormones and spirituality and things like that. So I was battling that out for a good while, trying to find myself, and I had a lot of destructive behaviors going on. And I met Cynthia, and Cynthia was unlike a lot of women that I've dated before or ever knew. So certain times I got really sick. I said this at our wedding. I got really sick one time. Cynthia took care of me. I'm talking about really sick, like you about to die sick.
Oh, shit.
And I had to take a lot of medication every single day. Some days I didn't want to get up out of the bed. Cynthia was there for me. And that was one of the really defining moments. It was like, you know what? You cannot walk away from this woman thinking that she's just like another woman that's going to be under your belt. You're going to be fooled and you're going to hurt for a long time if you don't take this one. So my profession is pretty much the military. I've been in 2 military branches for 8 years. And I decided, we're going to go ahead and get married, because I want to marry you. I want to be an honest woman. My family, we all come from marriage. We're like deeply Christian rooted. Although I didn't become a Christian until recently, after doing some soul searching. I was just like, I gotta have this woman for the rest of my life. I have to do that because I love her.
Damn.
Oh, you are like
Tears?
Can I get some cookies?
So what's the story on your end?
I knew a lot sooner that I wanted to marry him than based off things that we discussed, and that he was able to teach me stuff. That's a big thing for me. Certain discussions we would have, he would teach me stuff, and I'm like, I never thought of that. Or he would discuss God with me, and then I started going back to church, and I was like, he was able to open that door up again. And he wasn't afraid to talk about marriage. He wasn't ready to get married.
Okay.
But he wasn't afraid to discuss it. He was like, he would tell me, he's like, I want to get married and I want to have kids and I want to, and I was like, okay. And by the time we met, I was done being a player. So I was like, all right, well, this sounds,
I don't want to be,
you know, like what I'm looking for right now at this point. Right now, I don't want to play any more guys. I want to get married, and he's teaching me a lot of stuff. So what I did was I knew that I was ready to invest in him because I was not cooking for nobody and helping them and none of that stuff. But once I met him, I was like, he seems different. He appears to be different before we hit those bumps and stuff. And I was like, I'm gonna give him what I have to offer.
Gotcha.
So I knew within like a couple of months, I was like, I ain't letting him go. I'm gonna tear him up.
Stephanie, Phil, before y'all get a mouthful each.
My plate's empty as of like 4 now. 4 now. I don't know. I guess when I first met Stephanie, I guess we hit it off, but we didn't hit it off. At least on my end, I didn't hit it off all the way. I don't know. I was being dumb, I guess, but because I work in film, so I'm really sparse here and there. So my fault. My mind's.
But you were like disappearing, like you wasn't.
Yeah. Because it was a thing where we met, and I guess they wanted to have like a brunch together, and I was like, okay, no doubt. We set a date for a brunch, and then I bailed on it because I had work. I got a job call, so like, all right, forget it. So my people really go to brunch a lot, and they party a lot, and all that other foolishness. And I'm not about that as much anymore. And so now when the week anymore. Yeah. So like a week came back, like, hey man, they still want to do brunch. I'm like, y'all did brunch last week? Like, no, she didn't. And my room was like, I think she's feeling it. I was like,
you were one of those where you didn't know.
She's like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Exactly.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, let me free up some time. So I went, we hit it off again, and then we just kept talking on the phone, and she shared a lot of like values that I really liked and that I really like invested in. Cause I'm not from like a Christian family, but like marriage, like. I mean, I guess, yeah, my parents are still married now, and I guess her parents are still married now. Like, there's a lot of boxes we're getting checked off in the situation. Okay. I'm like, well, I can't really just turn this down at this point. Like, this would be pretty stupid.
Quality.
Like, yeah, exactly, quality. Like, I can't, I mean, I was like 30, I was about like 29 at that time. Like, I can't hold this out. Like, because if I miss her, like, it's a wrap. And then, a situation where we were at her house, and then it just like we didn't play no game. It wasn't a game, but something hit me when I just came out and I was like, wow. Stephanie, I love you at that point. And I was like,
you just said it like that?
Yeah, I said it like I love you.
Like a movie.
I mean, he is in film, so
like Stephanie, Stephanie, I love you. And like, so it's either this is gonna last forever, or I'm just gonna break my heart and I'm gonna write a really great movie after that.
Definitely.
Just one of the two. Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm like never gonna get. I'm probably not gonna do it again. I'm just gonna write a really great movie. One of the two, but I'm putting like everything into this.
You still write that movie.
Yeah.
Did you know before he was aware that he knew?
Actually, that exact story, no, I didn't know before that. Actually, no, but I knew that. Like in that conversation, that was the first time he had mentioned marriage, and so I was like believing I was in the right relationship. Mm-hmm. So when he said that, it definitely confirmed like that our mindsets were aligned, that we were dating for marriage. We weren't just dating because we were bored or anything like that. Mm-hmm. So that was good. I think maybe 6 months into the relationship, I was positive, without the shadow of a doubt, that I would marry him if he proposed to me in this very moment. So it was more of like being sure at 6 months in, and like we just like he said, all the boxes were checked as far as like when you know yourself, you know a lot better when you meet someone that fits for you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's why I was so excited at the idea of being married to Phil, because we just meshed well, like really well. Like I believe like you don't really know what you need until God gives it to you. And then it's like, oh snap, I didn't even know I needed that. But yeah,
They say you don't, like if you go out looking for something, like it just kind. That's the wrong. Like when it falls, just shows up.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for Binta.
But you know what it sounds like also? It sounds like women are usually sure a lot earlier
Yes.
than the men, because just the stories between the two of you were like, oh yeah, like it took a while, but they were like, I knew within a week.
But does that have something to do with?
Because between you and I too, I knew clearly. Like 2 months in, I was just like, okay, so
Right.
Like what's up?
4 years later, I figured out what you was thinking.
You were dating 4 years.
We were together before 4 years. The first time we celebrated our
1 year anniversary.
Our 1 year anniversary. We have been kind of dating. Like I was an anti-term person, so like so even the title of marriage today is something interesting that I think we continue to define it every day. But like that idea of like you need to be someone's boyfriend, someone's girlfriend, someone's whatever. As soon as you put it on, the I love yous and the gifts and the things you do start to seem like you were expected to do it. When I'm just your person that you're talking to, but I show up at your house with roses, you're like, oh, this man loves me. You know? If I do something for your birthday, it's because I want to, but like now that we're married, let me just forget that, like,
Good luck.
you want to go get some five guys, even though we did do five guys, but it was intentional.
Yeah.
For us, that's how it was. Like we met, and like I was 19. David is 5 years older than me, and so like I was a lot younger. But like I was older than my peers in the sense that like I was on my own already for like 3 years. Like I left my mom's house when I was 17, so like I was already like out in the world basically doing whatever. And I was dating, but like I wasn't really seriously dating. I didn't really care to date because that money, like I needed to get the money.
Do you feel your partners changed you, and if so, how? Do you feel like in the course of after being married?
Yes. I feel like Stephanie, I guess being married to Stephanie has made me more in touch with my emotions, which is very weird for me because I'm an only child. I'm real logical.
What's your sign? Sorry.
I'm a Virgo.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Gemini.
No.
She's like, sounds like someone else's.
Yeah. So I'm real. It's either a 0 or it's a 1. It's really just binary.
He's an earth sign.
It's very binary.
He's an earth sign.
It's on or it's off.
He doesn't move
It's on or
much.
not.
He's kind of solid in his. It's concrete or it's not.
Yeah.
So
she's brought these feel. She's allowed you to.
So somehow there's like a 1.5 in there. That's
1.2538.
Like it's like what? It's kind of on, kind of off, and that's where I guess where emotions live in that little piece right there. So she somehow made me tap into that, and I don't know. It's just weird. It's been a weird like 6 months. Like, oh man, I feel sad and stuff like that.
Talk about it. Okay.
I'm so sad. Like, nah, it's not that serious.
Wet pillow.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wet Pillow.
Yeah, exactly. So.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. Me, man, I was showing up before I met Cynthia. I was showing up to like Thanksgiving at my family's house empty-handed. I was just showing up.
Where the food at?
No etiquette.
Man,
Excuse me, literally saying that.
that's my line.
What's up, my nigga?
You know? Yeah, just like that. And when I met Cynthia, she was like, "So, what you bringing to dinner?" And I'm like, "Excuse me, what I'm bringing to dinner? I'm bringing myself."
Right, a plate.
Yeah, so then she started bringing because of Cynthia, I started bringing things to like family events and just like little corny little holidays like my aunt and uncle's anniversary. I'm bringing a gift now. Other days I wouldn't even go in their house and speak to them and say happy anniversary. Because of Cynthia that I'm more mindful of those things, and that's how she's changed me since we've gotten married and known each other.
Hi, Cynthia.
She was looking at you the whole time.
Somebody else talking about where the food is.
I'm definitely more empathetic after meeting Andy, and not only did it make me empathetic to people who weren't totally like me, but it also helped me to figure out like how strong could I be, like what sort of things could I build. And so, the companies that we've built since, the investments that we've made, the people that we've met, the community work that we've done, it's all really been a result of.
Andy, have you been changed?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say changed.
I woke up like this. This is me.
He's strong. He's strong. Okay, yeah.
Because, you know, listening to all of you guys, and then we can speak a little bit to us, but like the idea of partner, I look at Binta as my partner. Like we build together. So that idea of, and to the empathy part, where it's like there are feelings in there. So I'm an emotional guy. I'm a Gemini. So, but I didn't. There are feelings that are in between that I'm like, what the fuck is that feeling? I don't even know why are you having that feeling right now.
Why do you care?
Was she not sad?
But
And she not mad?
in tune with my feelings. Like I grew up in a household where like we didn't talk about feelings, so I don't know the feelings that I have. So when he's like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, I don't know either. So we're trying to figure this out.
So if we were to say that anything's changed, so one, I've definitely, that idea of a single person trying to build everything for yourself, it was exhausting, and it turned out that like it had an end. So to know that someone's here pushing me as well as listening and also saying, sit the fuck down for a second and drink some water. That was one, but the finding that 1.2538, whatever it was, finding that, like I think we're in a constant quest for it to find a little space in between that says, you know, like for us to be better, you need to understand when I feel this way or feel that way, or you need to be able to sit to your point. You need to be able to say, I need to be able to communicate. Today I feel like 1.7. I don't know what that means, but like, I love you, but just know that I'm not gonna look like it today. Like, so though, guys, in your relationships, in your marriages, what's your biggest fear?
I'm not going first.
That's a difficult question.
That's easy.
All right, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it.
My biggest fear, which I knew before getting married, was not being married to Phil. Like the fear of divorce, the fear of not, you know, something going so wrong that the relationship breaks up. But that's what motivates me every day to try to be a better wife. It motivates me every day to make decisions that I know are gonna keep our relationship strong and like, you know, communicate. And when things go weird and I'm like, oh, this is not feeling good, I feel like this doesn't make me happy, or vice versa, I'm seeing that in him, I'm like, let's talk about it, because you know, my fear, if you can call it that, is not putting my best foot forward and the relationship suffering because of that. So, if I may be so transparent.
I don't know. I feel like my biggest fear is like falling short of our potential. I guess. Keep it short and concise.
My biggest fear is becoming complacent as a husband and forgetting to do those little things. Oh, that's scary. I'm afraid of having that relationship where we're both sleeping in the same bed, but we got our backs turned to each other. I'm afraid of going into the supermarket and not seeing some flowers for my wife and not picking them up. I'm afraid of becoming that guy where, you know, I don't want to make her smile every single day. I don't want to kiss her forehead, which is absolutely does nothing for me, but everything for her. I'm afraid of.
Oh, did I do that?
I can ask a question. You said if he would have lied, that's cheating?
Yeah, if this.
I said lie. He said
Yeah. So it's more like if you are being. If there's something that.
Transparency.
Yeah,
I was trying to say what he said.
Right.
He said it better in transparency.
Like
I
just
use the
come,
word
just be forward about like whatever experiences you're having. You know, decide how you want to edit it. Decide how much you want to ask about it. Like I think we kind of have to like have this like open dialogue about it. In general, particularly because like we are always in social settings, so it's sort of like, and we're not always together. So even more for that reason.
Prowl. You know,
Proud people are
These folks is out here.
you know, people always want to know what's really inside your relationship. Like, what is this?
Yeah, they want to know how it works.
So if you guys are having a conversation, he's 90% transparent with you. Is he technically cheating on you for keeping that 10% away from you?
Well, he doesn't have to keep his like keeping his innermost thoughts that we all have is not a lie. But like going out of your way, like knowing that you know something that happened that would actually distress me and purposely not telling me or preparing me for it, then that's a lie.
It's like when you don't break the law, but if you break the spirit of the law.
Yeah, but
So like,
the thing is to trust your partner, no? To trust that your partner isn't going to go out and, cause like just to be 100% like transparent, David and I like we check out girls. Like, I'm like, she's cute, he's cute, and like I feel like we're at the relationship where it's fine to point that out, and like correct me if I'm wrong, but like I don't assume that like he's taking offense to it, and like when.
Well, I like to say for the record today.
That's really why we're here.
Told you I was going to the gym.
But I do want to add one piece to that, and that is that like I think. I think the idea of like trying to be every fantasy to my partner is the most exhausting thought.
Agreed.
To be like,
I didn't hear. Say again?
so the idea of like trying to be every fantasy to my partner is exhausting.
Andy, say it one more time.
So one more thing to add is I think that the idea of trying to fulfill every fantasy to your partner is exhausting. So I think I feel like it's something to be healthy, I have to think about like every fantasy that I have, every fantasy that he may have, and not interpret that fantasy as a competition of who I am, or likewise, right? Or vice versa.
When me and Stephanie were, because we went to marriage counseling together, and the counselor asked us, like, everyone close your eyes, like, if in 5 years you know your partner's gonna cheat on you, would you still marry them? And
That's a hell of a question.
and then yeah, I know
Wow.
it's a tough one. Yeah, it's a tough one. And I guess I know I put my hand up, and Stephanie said that she put her hand up too, like we would still marry each other. Like I don't know, my eyes were closed. I can only speak for myself.
It's not even like a
Right.
Yeah, but it's funny how the I guess the pastor was telling us like a lot of y'all had your hands down and like you guys wouldn't do this and maybe this is not for you. So I guess I say that to say that like even
that's good.
If and when do you ever involve your friends in your marriage? And we're not talking about your relationship. We're not talking about, girl, I'm not dating him no more. If you do you do it? And at what times do you consult or include your friends in decisions that you make within your marriage?
We talk about relationships a lot, but we don't involve our friends in the relationship specifically, like guide me through this. It's very difficult to tell people that you know intimately everything that's wrong with them. They will be devastated.
I do talk to my girlfriends about stuff in the relationship, but not everything. And I definitely am not taking any advice.
You're right. We go. So we like here's what's happening, but like I don't want you.
But you see, my friends, they know as well. Like they'll say stuff, but they're not really giving me no advice because they already know I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm always moving to the beat of my own drum, and I think everybody pretty much knows that about me. Like you could say A, and I'm gonna say Z. So I'll speak to them, which he hates, by the way. Like, why are you telling me this?
No, I'm gonna bring that back.
But I do talk to them, but I'm not talking to them looking for advice. I'm just like, girl, you know what he did?
Just venting a little bit.
Yeah,
I'm just hitting,
that's really
You're
what
my
it is.
friend,
I'm just venting
This was the latest with me.
and you know, or sharing good news or whatever that it may be.
Yeah.
But yeah. If you try to say something slick, then I'll be like,
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
I really can't ask for advice from anyone. I try to stick to my uncle because he's another married Christian man and he's been married for like 26 years. So if I need advice, I go speak to him. But I try to keep my advice from people who can have the same community as me. They're gonna resort to God and then they're gonna get back to me on it, you know. And that's the way I would do that.
No, I get what you're saying. Because it's like every marriage is like a radio frequency. And like you're on your own frequency. You might be on 99, you might be on 100, you might be 101.5. And it's like, we do this. So like, don't go be getting advice from the AM station.
Exactly.
If we I get what you're saying. And if we gonna figure it out, we should be figuring it out.
We should be figuring it out. And I don't need to hear it from your best friends.
True.
So yeah.
Did you two want to add to it?
Yeah. Like even from like when we started dating, 'cause I have a bunch of friends I've known since like elementary school that we still hang out, still close with over 25 years. And I told Stephanie straight, like, I'm only worried about you. I'm only worried about you. I'm not worried about them. I'm not talking to them. We're not chilling with them because they like to chill all the time. I'm like, nah, man, we're just gonna do something ourselves. So I'm not really asking them for advice on anything. I guess since being an only child too, I keep everything like personal and close, and so if it's a problem, it's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna think about it for 8 to 10 weeks myself, and then I'm gonna bring it up to you. I'm gonna bring it up to her at that point if it's that big of a problem. So I'm gonna figure it out myself and then go to Stephanie. But I'm definitely not going to anybody for advice. I may run an idea past somebody or a hypothetical, like, hey, my cousin was this, that, and the third. What do you think? Yeah, that's the same thing I told him. He's crazy. Yeah. And then
I got a friend.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Family, community kind of upbringing. So I'm really used to consulting people to put my best foot forward. So I do talk to my friends, but I don't go to people who I know is going to give me some advice that is probably not, the best that's going to help my relationship. Sometimes I'm like, look, can I vent this out with you before, I have a conversation? Like, is my thinking crazy? To just kind of make sure I'm ready to like have a conversation if, that's what it is. But I don't really ask for that much advice. I'm usually the person people come to for advice, so I guess kind of think it out myself and then kind of look for validation and checkpoints through my network, my board of directors, kind of thing. But.
Yeah, my board of directors.
But yeah.
I mean, I feel like I found more like unsolicited advice more than anything else, which is more like particular. But I think it's like actually more curiosity because it was like for the most part like a section of my gay friends, which is a pretty small section in the first place.
Alex.
But who are curious about like his bisexuality. So like it opened up this whole, it was like advice from everyone else's experience that had nothing to do with him. And it was but it was also sort of like having to like walk through this experience that I think people don't.
They were like, when is wife gonna show?
She's unique, right?
I mean, she lived far away. All my kids in South Africa. That was a
Good old black man with 2 families.
Right.
To answer the question, for me, I don't consult friends as often as I should. And to your point, Phil, when I do consult, it's kind of like, oh, hypothetically, or like, what about friends brought this to me? What do you think about it? Right. I'm like, a friend brought this up. What do you think about it? Because I'm such I'm a very private person, and that like, it's just how I am. Like, I think before meeting David, no one knew anything except for my my main best friend, who is Jenya, who is my oldest best friend. She knew everything about me, but even that, it was like, bitch, if you and I ever start being friends, I will have to kill you. I will have to kill you. But for me, like, part of the reason why I don't consult friends is because early on in our relationship, David was just out here. Like, he was just out here just doing the most.
Doing the most.
Was it? What? I don't know. I was out here.
I saw the Kanye video, but I didn't know he was
Right, I was like,
Kanye.
I was getting on planes and
He was out here
and working
doing
really
the most.
hard to try to build a career. In the music.
Do what you gotta do.
And it was like my first real relationship at that
And that
time.
explains the first 4 years.
But it wasn't my first real relationship, and like I used to consult my friends a lot. I used to be like, oh my gosh, like, am I crazy, or like do you think X, Y, and Z? And so like I used to consult often, but then like it got to a point where they never said this, but I felt like my friends were like, why are you still with him? Like, why are you still doing this? Like if it's so hard, if it's so tough, then why are you still doing it?
They do go there. They do go like
Right.
Default.
Right,
Default,
and so
delete.
I was just like once I got that question, I was just like, okay, like I really need to step back and just like, because you're right, I don't tell you like all the great things that happen. I only come to you when like the shit is bad, And so like ever since like that moment of me hearing that from one of my friends, I was just like, okay, and so I like completely like retracted. And it's not until like things get really, really, really stressful that I'm like, okay, like let me just hit up this person, because I do have, like, to your point, you don't have a lot of friends or no friends, but I have like a small circle of friends that I have. And in my mind, though we're the same age, in my mind, I am like the older of them, because for me, I feel like I've just lived a lot of life that I just forcibly, because I had to make sure I like there was money in my bank account, there was food on my table and stuff like that. So
she was looking out for the little homie.
Exactly.
Right.
And so I don't consult with him often, but in recent conversations with David where he felt like, you know what, like I think we should bring another, because like you and I aren't getting through with this the way we should. We should bring a third party in. And even then, like I was very skeptical because I'm just like, no one really knows what goes on in our relationship. Like no one really knows like everything, like why I would do certain things, because I do consider the good and the bad. And so like, because no one knows all of the good and all of the bad, it's hard for anyone, in my opinion, to decipher what advice to give us. And so because of that, I just like stayed clear from it. But but it is something I like really want to get out of, like, because I do understand that, like, even us having this dinner with you all is to talk to other married people, because I feel like other married people will understand certain things that single people or just people who are dating wouldn't understand.
Yeah. I don't think it's specific to age group, whether you're 19 or 29 or 39 or 49. People who are and are not married are curious about how and why you might be.
So we're gonna power through dessert. Very cute, short, sweet answers. If there was only one thing that you can preserve from your marriage, what would it be? There was one thing.
I would definitely preserve the intimacy, not just sex, but like the kisses on the forehead, the waking up with drool on my face and getting a kiss. Like, who does that?
My wife's strength. My wife is
Oh, don't worry about that.
she was such a strong person, and she saw in me what I didn't yet see in myself, and she kept building into me. You know, she's such a strong person, and she was so determined to, you know, make it through everything with me, and she was very strong. And I think a lot of the times people would call it quits and let go, you know. So if I could preserve anything, I would preserve my wife's perseverance and her strength.
So I kind of have an answer that's not really an answer because I couldn't come up with a good answer, which is kind of the balance of all of the things that make our marriage great, like just keeping the intimacy and the conversation, the companionship, keeping a good balance of that. If you can preserve anything, which is kind of preserving everything. So.
No, balancing is an act.
Really
Balancing on itself is an act.
Okay.
We can be super intimate people. We can be super transparent people. Right. But I can be transparent and not intimate. I can be intimate and not transparent. I can be a whole lot of things. So like balancing, boom.
Oh, I would say the companionship between us. That's one thing I would want to keep, because without the companionship, there's really nothing. We're just two individuals just going in different places, or just happen to be living in the same house together.
One of the things that we always talked about is like how destructive the notion of like divorce was to people, because people stayed unhappily married out of the fear of divorce. And I think early on we talked a lot about like, if we don't like each other, let's promise ourselves to like not be together. Like just say like,
not to interrupt you, but to interrupt you.
Right.
That's actually what I was gonna say over here on this side, because we've talked about that, like.
But not in a threatening way.
Right.
But in a like, are we happy?
Like you.
We good?
Right, like, are we good? Because we owe nothing to each other but then to be good to each other.
Right.
Because otherwise, we're not doing this for anyone else other than us. So.
Well, we've come to the end of our dinner discussion with B. I hope you guys are full of food, full of love, full of information, full of next steps. Raise your glasses. Thank you all for joining us for dinner discussions with B. I like to toast. We're all clinking. I'm not even done toasting. My wife told me I could talk as long as I want. But I would like to toast to love, to prosperity, to the health of our relationships, to friends that become families, to strong families, to strong black families, to strong brown black futures.
All right.
Love
Woo!
you.
Amen.
Amen.
That's a great toast. Okay.
Let me get some of this.
Thanks for listening to Dinner Discussions with B. Remember to subscribe to the podcast and to visit us at withBee.com.